Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back, everybody. She is just so insightful, spiritual, guiding. Every time we get together with her, we get more insight, little tidbits in terms of this thing they call life. She is a spiritual life coach, shamanic and Reiki practitioner. She's also a nurse. She runs deep. And every time I talk with her, it blows me away how deep she rolls. I love her. Today, we're going to talk about surrendering. What does that mean? You've heard that term before. We kind of have an idea of what that's about, but do we really? She's our professional of the year. Danielle Marie is back with us. How you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. How about yourself?
Good. I wonder, the whole term surrender. Yeah, I see the image, the word in my mind when I think about it, and what it could mean. Let's go. Your definition.
My definition is allowing, surrendering to authenticity is the best way to surrender. A lot of people think of it as in terms of, say, war, someone surrendering, or the negative side of the connotation. But there's also the positives. And when we can actually surrender to the truth of who we are, our authenticity, and to our spiritual guidance, however that may look, a lot of times I believe that there is a struggle, a battle in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the analyzation side and you have the spiritual side. And it feels like you have thoughts this way, then you hear these thoughts. And with all the noise in the world, and depending on how you were raised and what beliefs were instilled in you, habits and cycles of family, how you reacted previously, and then also your defenses. So if you were ever hurt by someone in any way, you have those patterns that are going through your mind. And those highways we talked about previously, where your focus goes, it grows, the energy flows, but those highways become interstates the more you think about it. So the faster those thoughts move.
Lots to process.
Mm-hmm.
With the surrender, let's go on the religion side here.
Okay.
There's a song came out 15 years or so ago, Jesus, Take the Wheel.
Yes.
And to me, that is kind of a surrender. You got it, man. That's it. I've resisted you. And I'm not getting religious here. I'm just going hypothetical. I don't know what to think anymore. I'm giving up. You got it, man. That's it. Yeah. I give to you, and let your God take the wheel. That's my one view of surrender.
Mm-hmm.
And then I look at it, like you said, if somebody has hurt you, forgiveness.
Exactly.
That's a surrender, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And acceptance, accepting what is and not trying to change it. That's a surrender. And actually looking at, if you're having trouble accepting a circumstance, let's use something really simple. Traffic. A lot of people, if somebody pulls out in front of you or they're tailgating you, different things like that. Are you okay? Are you like me and you're driving down and you're singing the song, and somebody came up to beside me this week, revving their truck, trying to get around me when they had all the opportunity to do so.
Mm-hmm.
But you could tell that there was a blessing button pushed there for that person. But are they running on the analytical, the masculinity of action, or are they going to pause and see what the messages are? What's this actually teaching me? What's coming out inside of me that needs to be looked at for my growth, for my development?
So I'm a very chill person, but like anybody else, if somebody cuts you off in traffic, in my journey, say 3 years, 4 years ago and before, I'd be like, you motherfucker, you know, now I'll admit sometimes I'll do that for a second,
Mm-hmm.
two maybe. Like, I'm like, it's not getting you anywhere. Nothing's going to come of it. And you look at that person and maybe there's a reason.
Yes.
Bad day, got bad news, working 3 jobs, whatever it is. Whatever. No harm done. Except maybe, to your ego for a second and then just let it go. And then, so that, I guess, I didn't look at that as a surrender, but you said something I definitely want to go back to.
Okay.
One person cut you off in traffic. It sounded like you said something about there's a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
What are we seeing? What's going on here? Did I hear that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next question. Based on that, got to ask this question. Is everything in life, I don't want to say a lesson, but have meaning? The person that just cut you off, it seems random or not. What do you
I
think?
believe everything does have a meaning,
Mm,
and I believe energy attracts energy. And even if it's not for your highest good, it may be a lesson for the other person.
mm,
But you have to be very discerning and reflect honestly inside yourself. For example, my husband used to make me a little uncomfortable when he was nervous or hurrying trying to get somewhere. And if he drove a certain way that I didn't feel safe, I started to get activated because my safety is very important to me. And I thought he was putting that at risk by
mhm,
his actions.
mhm.
So I had to really look at that. And for me, it reflected back to my childhood. And so then there was lessons and
Hmm.
growth for me because I wasn't able to accept what I was experiencing, but it was showing me something.
Wow. Um, Lots to think about here because it then it almost, I don't want to say it scares me, but concerns me that if everything, and I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm thinking, yeah, because we believe, you and I believe, and many, there are no coincidences.
Mm-hmm.
So could life turn into one big analyzation for you? Whoops, I dropped the pen. Why did that happen? There's a reason that pen fell. Can
Right. And
could you
that's
become obsessed at some point?
right. And that's not where you want to go with
Of
it
course not. Of course not.
at all.
Hmm.
But one thing that's coming up is we're all used. Miracles happen every single day. And we're all used to help other people. It's love. Everything, when you stop and look at it, it's about love. We are used as vessels that messages are spoke through. If you stop and think, how many times have I heard something and it felt that I needed to share what I heard, even though you're like, I don't know how this would come or why. And it may make you even uneasy because it steps into that depth. Those could be messages, I'm going to say, from God. Miracles that happen every single day. How many times do you get a message from someone you know or a family at the exact minute you needed to hear it, the exact time?
Not enough.
Oh, but you can think back.
Yes, but yes, I totally get you because those messages have come through.
Mm-hmm. But if we block that off or we ignore that, that can be withholding love and blessings from the other person.
Do you feel that we're here for one reason, and that's to teach and learn?
I think we're here to love and learn to love.
But maybe we're saying the same thing because
Yes,
maybe
yes,
you
yes.
can't learn to love and love unless you learn how to. And for others, somehow you're teaching them something, but invariably it turns into love.
Yes.
Wow. How do you surrender?
That was very, very hard for me. Ooh, that was really hard for me because I always thought I was. But I was choosing what I was surrendering to or the circumstances I was surrendering to.
Okay, you were cherry picking,
Yeah.
and I get it. I'm right there with you. I'm walking that journey right there with you. You know, does it come down to surrender to everything?
It does.
I think a
But
lot of
there is a
people,
discernment aspect to it because
meaning,
you have to discern the situations. Does that make sense?
yes, you have to weigh everything because if you surrender to everything, couldn't that get you into trouble?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why there's discernment with your intuition and with what feels right. So for me, when I know something is correct, there's multiple ways, but my solar plexus area and the upper abdomen, it gets tighter for me.
Me
And
too.
there's also excitement for me. If
Me
I
too.
know something's for me, there's excitement.
That's your
There's
intuition.
a wanting to do it, a feeling pulled, if you will.
I feel the same exact same thing you do. It's almost like that the negative intuitive feeling in your gut. It almost feels like not reflux, but just something's not right. Oh, that doesn't feel right. But when it is right, it's lighter. And like you said, it
Yeah.
could be something that you really don't want to do. Let's say a medical procedure, right? But your gut says that is the right answer. And it's almost like it's exciting. It's not, but it is. I don't know if that makes
Right.
sense.
Right. And another thing for me is my heart space. It'll get like it's shrinking, like it's getting smaller, but it doesn't have that comfort tightening of the solar plexus. It has a anxious feeling.
Yeah.
So I know to sit with that. Don't make any decision right away because I need to look at that. Is it something that is causing anxiousness in me because it is something new or a growth opportunity or development opportunity? Or is there fear coming up, which would be the same? Or is this not for me or not yet?
So you've got three things going on there.
Mm-hmm.
There's the right answer. Whew, light, airy, can't wait to do it, no matter what it is. You've got the uncomfortable, heavy feeling, and then you have the I'm not really sure. I need to process this longer feeling.
Yes.
Explain that one again.
The last one?
Yeah, the unsure. I need to process. I'll get the answer, but I need to process this a little bit more.
Two things come up right away for me. I have to step outside of other people's energy to make sure that I am only picking up my own energy, because I can feel other energies and I can feel into people's bodies and feel stuff going on with them. So I have to step away from them before I can make decisions.
Wow. Okay. But that, you're in a different category because of what you do. But other energies, and more, I feel other people's energy. Like, I don't mean this in a negative way, but just like, I need a distance. This is not for me. And I feel it like, ugh, like I'm just, even sometimes making a phone call to somebody that I just really, I don't want to sound snobby. I don't want to talk because this is not supportive and the energy is just not there. And sometimes you just got to go with it. Let's say it's work related. It's like, all right, you gotta deal with that again. It's part of life, I guess. But then maybe you need to protect your energy.
Correct. And that's your energetic body giving you the messages.
I'm intrigued how everything goes back to love. And it doesn't, let's talk about that for a sec. It doesn't have to be, when we say that, it doesn't have to be somebody loves you. It doesn't have to be you love somebody else. It's just there's an expression of love. Tell me more.
For me, it's I am you and you are me. And when we can truly look at each other as an extension of ourselves, because we're all connected, we're all one. And in that aspect, I am you and you are me. So if we can have the love and the compassion, I think that the whole world would just light up.
In every way. And it's so funny. It goes back to my mantra, and I ride by this, and I will take it right to the end. And I think I've shared it with you. It's 3 things. I didn't make this up. Love everyone. Trust few. Lesson there for me. Trust few. Bluntly said, it sucks, but that's my truth. Trust few. And always do the right thing for all. You can do the right thing. I did the right thing for yourself. Did you do the right thing for the greater good? And those 3 things, I don't know if it was Shakespeare, Bob Marley made them up. I don't know, maybe they were paraphrased, whatever, but that sits with me. And to love everyone is you walk into Starbucks, get a cup of coffee. It's warm. It tastes so good. Man, they did. Tell them, that barista, this tastes great. Thank you so much. I love your hair, by the way. Like, it really fits your face. It's you. Thanks. Have a great day. Out of there. You don't have to do any more. You showed some love.
And you probably made that person's day, and that encouragement makes them want to be better.
You could have saved their life.
Yeah, you could have. Exactly.
And even the person that cut you off in traffic, just like, it's okay, man. Like, you keep going. We're good. That's it. Release, surrender.
Yes, exactly.
Why is it so hard to surrender for all of us? Is it stuff that's still stuck in our head, like you were saying with your husband?
Yes.
And his driving?
Yes. And also for me personally, having a lot of abuse in my life, that really molded me at a young age. So I learned to read energy in order to protect myself. But as I got older, that protection wasn't helping me anymore. It was hurting me.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. It's almost as if you called upon your inner superpower to help you in those early times. But then later in life, it was holding you back. like the example you gave, it's your husband. He's not going to put you in harm. He's not going to,
Right.
I get it,
Right.
um, unless he's, doing 98 miles an hour on a icy slick road on a cliff. No.
No,
No.
it wasn't any of that. It was just things that triggered my safety and went back.
I get it. Yeah. And there's somebody I talk to, I'll be in the car and she'll hear the engine and she goes, "You're driving fast again? Slow down. What are you doing?" Hey, I'm not driving fast. Maybe I accelerated or whatever. But then I figured out she was saying that because back in the day, she was in a car accident when she was younger.
Yeah, if we actually pay attention and reflect on ourselves, our thoughts, our words, our actions, you can start to see those patterns arising. And then if you can't work through it, seek help, seek guidance. Ask for somebody to come into your life, for you to be shown somebody that can help you, and allow that. Surrender and let God
Oh,
bring them in.
that person is you.
Oh,
And I'll give you an example here real quick. Um, we did a session. You did some cord cutting for me. Definitely need more. It was impactful. A friend of mine, I mentioned to him like a month and a half ago after our session, maybe more. I forget when it was, like within 2 months. I said, "Dude, you need a cord cutting. Google it. I'll recommend somebody. He's got a situation where he is attached and he can't let go. And he knows it's not right. And it's controlling his life.
Mhm.
Controlling his life. I feel like, and I said it again last night. I was like, dude, I told you about it. You gotta. And when he talks about this situation in person, and he's a pretty strong man, he even gets jittery.
Mhm.
I said, you need to. It's not going to eliminate the memories and things like that. It's just going to sever the connection that's not supporting you.
And release that energy
Yeah.
that's being held within.
And you know why he won't do it? Because he won't surrender. That's it. I think that I'm far from the expert, but to me, that's like the perfect example. Like he won't surrender. He's just hanging on. He's hanging on. And he's got so much going for him, and it's controlling his life, this situation with a person, with a person.
But until we're ready ourselves, no matter how much encouragement, he has to be ready.
I guess, no healing can take place unless you're ready. Even hypnotherapy, you have you smoke and your spouse takes you to the hypnotherapist and say, "I made the appointment, just sit in the chair." And if you don't want it, it's not going to work. And yeah, he's not ready. He's not ready. And I wish I could just like, take a hammer, knock him out, bring him to you, have you do the cord cutting, and then, but it's not gonna. He's not ready. He's not ready. And I can see this time, literally last night, I could see he's not ready. And I wish I had an answer for him. I don't, but I know he needs to release this, and he knows he needs to release it, but he can't.
He's still learning something. When he's ready, he'll he'll let you know.
I might even share that in a roundabout way. You're amazing. How do we find you?
Thank you. HelloFutureHealing.com, on Facebook, Danielle Marie White, and also a Facebook group, Hello Future Healing Ministry.
I don't know how you ground yourself, and you're just in the right space now. I detect from you. I really do. Would you say that, your life at this moment is really good?
Yes, 100%.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Thank you for today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day, everyone. I love you all. Take care.
Before we go, is
Yes.
it okay to share that Facebook group that you created?
Yes.
Please do.
Hello Future Healing Ministry.
And you do call it a devotional every once a week, is it?
Every morning.
Wow.
I am starting to go live and I share devotions and a reading from the Word and any intuitive messages that I receive. I used to do it every morning by myself, and I've been led to share for a while, and I was not surrendering to that for a long time because I didn't like to be in the public eye. I didn't want to be seen.
You need to be. No, you do. And why? You answered it when we started today.
Love.
And it's 4 letters in one word. And you know what they are. You got love. That's why you're doing it.
That is exactly why I'm doing it.
I got it. I got it. Lesson learned. Lesson learned. Thank you for today.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the mytuner-radio, onlineradiobox, and simpleradio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.